Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. And can't wait to talk to the next man. He's one of our best guests, as I say.
The best guest.
Yeah, that's right. He's not the best kept secret or anything along that line because he thinks I probably am since I refused to drive to Arlington. But we're in quarantine now, and I will make it out there eventually to S.Y. Wilson Building for a primary tackle. But it's always good to have David Best on with us because to get a little lowdown on not only the fishing part of it, but he keeps his ears and eyes open for all sorts of stuff going on and into the kayak stuff. I called him the other day, and he was at Herb Parsons, Dave Gabbard, doing a kayak demonstration. So good morning, David.
Good morning, y'all. Good morning.
All right. So first, tell us about this thing at Herb Parsons, which, folks, that's one of my favorite places. I don't know why. If you want a social distance, you can go to Herb Parsons. You can go to Glen Springs. We got two of the finest local fisheries that enable you to spread out and fish. And so, what was going on with you the other day at Herb Parsons?
Well, working out here, that's why we sell a lot of kayaks from Hobie to New Canoe, Feel Free, and everything. So we take customers out there occasionally when they're trying to decide what kayak do they want.
Uh-huh.
And we'll take them out there and kind of get them a couple of options and let them kind of narrow down. I mean, there's no better way to narrow it down than to do it, on the water.
On the water.
And you see exactly how a kayak reacts, or whether you can stand in it well enough to suit you, whether you can paddle it around the way you want to, and so it just gives you that better option to kind of look it over and see how it's going to react before you spend that substantial money that you're going to spend on a boat. So,
well, now you've got I love to canoe and kayak and these kind of things. I'm from the old school of canoeing through the cypress at Reelfoot Lake and doing those different kind of things. Canoe has come a long way. Now, I know Gene would know that from his time as a hunter education, the old canoe that we saw Running Bear and Little White Dove back a long time ago was now has become very sophisticated.
Yes,
and so before I talk about what's going on fishing-wise, I'm kind of fascinated by this kayak phase. And Dave Gabbard, you know that. You've seen that in the Beach Rivers systems up there, where the advantage of these vessels, so to speak, can go anywhere. So talk about it, David Best, from the if somebody wanted to buy a kayak and they're heading out to S.Y., your place out there in Arlington, S.Y. Wilson, the building. I mean, how many different brands you got?
We carry 4 separate brands.
4 separate brands.
Do everything from pedal to paddle.
Pedal to paddle. Okay.
So we have Hobies that you can physically pedal them, and I can run my Hobie 4.5 to 5 miles an hour.
I've done that. Yes. All right.
But we even have one now. It's the 360 drive that you can physically turn the pedal sideways, and you can make the boat move sideways. Good night. Rather than having to turn it forward or turn it in a circle or whatever you need to do. So all the way down to, we have ones that you can paddle, and we carry like New Canoe, which you can put those boats or some of the Frontiers and those are so freaking stable. They were designed to fly fish out of and stand up as you're drifting down a river.
Yeah. So we're talking about say I'm sending Dave Gabbard to buy a new kayak, and he's never had one before, and you're going to fit Dave.
I beg you about. Well, I have 2 kayaks.
Well, I'm telling you.
But I'm in the market for a new one.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm saying. He's in the market for a new one. Now, the 2 kayaks he got, one of them was Lewis and Clark. They've been around for a while. But you're going to sell Dave a kayak on the radio here.
So, sell Dave a kayak. I mean, there's a lot of options, and that's the thing. We can sell anybody a kayak that'll fit any budget, any need, And you can run them in anything from 8 inches of water to go fish ledges on Kentucky Lake or Pickwick. It just depends on what you want.
Okay, well, Dave's retired TWR. He's got all the money. He's got all the money. So I mean, what are we talking about from Moneybags Dave? Then I'm going to come back to Gene Smith, who's like me with nothing. You know, we're on a budget, but so what's the high end kayak going to run you?
The highest end kayak's going to run you around $5,000.
$5,000. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And the lowest end we have will be around that
$500. Hear that, Gene?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a spectrum. We can fit anything.
That's amazing. Now these vessels, Dave, do you know, are these, you register the kayak, you have to, they're like a regular vessel, right? Or do we have this?
No.
I didn't think they were.
You do not have to register a kayak unless you
what?
put a trolling motor on it or a gas-powered engine.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
And that's one of the beauties of it.
So you don't have to register it.
Yep.
But
now you do still have to follow certain TWRA rules. So
well, yeah.
If you're out there before daylight, you still have to have that white all-around light so people can see where you are.
Okay. All right.
You still have to wear a life jacket, and actually, we tell everybody you should always wear a life jacket.
Always wear a life jacket. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, even though like in a bass boat, a lot of times people only wear one when they're under power, but in a kayak, we always recommend that you have an inflatable life jacket at the very least on. Something that's not going to, so that if you do get in trouble, you have a way to
help
be safe.
Yeah, and I'm sure you sell life jackets, right?
We sure do. We sell several different styles.
And you do sell baits and rods and reels too, right?
Oh, yeah. Lots of those, lots of rods and reels, lots of baits on the
primary
Dave,
tackle
side.
You're ready, Dave. I'll meet you at Esquire Wilson later on this afternoon. Okay, bro, bring your...
Okay, go ahead and just give him your credit card number while he's on the phone.
Oh, I was going to tell you to bring your checkbook, but no one does that anymore. So, they are something to see, and I've been in 2 or 3 of them at conferences and things along that line, and they're so much more steady than a rocking in a canoe, or whatever it might be. And again, we're talking to David Best at Primary Tackle out in Arlington. And so let's talk fishing here for a few minutes as Dave and Gene listen in on this thing. What's going on in the Mid-South? We have had a crazy April. And
it has been a crazy April.
And this morning is May the 2nd, so we're into May. So talk about I've seen the hatchie. Man, it's been up and up and up and up and things along this line. So talk about what's fishing going on.
Well, fishing has been really, really good. I mean, I told you I was at Herb Parsons the other day. While I was there, actually, they were out there shocking fish, doing a little creel study.
Were they? Okay.
And then the game wardens were telling me, they shocked up a lot of 2 to 4 pounders, and that follows in with what everybody's been telling me. I've seen some really good triggers coming out of Herb Parsons this year.
Huh.
I won a kayak tournament at Kentucky Lake last week.
It took you that long to tell me that. I was just wondering. I thought you would. Well, I thought that would be one of the first things about kayaks when I brought it up. That was really why I was just trying to bring you out to say you won a tournament. And David, it took you 10 minutes to say it. So
I'm just trying. I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything. But,
toot it, buddy. Toot it. We may not listen, but toot it. Okay.
But we caught. But my best 3 went 60.5 inches, so I had an average of a 20-inch fish.
That's good.
So
yeah.
I got a 6.5, a 5, and a 4. So it was a really good day. So.
And caught them on what?
Caught them on my little baby brush hogs and my little bush pig that I sell so many of.
That's right.
The little black and blue one.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
But it's been fishing's been really, really good. Everybody's catching a lot of fish right now. Pickwick's been on fire.
Yes.
The Sardis and the lakes down there, the core lakes have been on fire. It's been really, really a good spring.
And I know that a good spring also means a lot of social distancing. And a lot of people say, well, is Primary Tackle open? All these people, So tell our listeners out there what's going on hour-wise, or what days are you open?
So we are still open. We're open Monday through Thursday right now from 12 to 6. We've cut our hours back a little bit during the week.
Okay.
Just because it's been kind of slow in the mornings.
Yeah.
We're still doing 10 to 6 on Fridays and Saturdays. I'm actually at Cuba Landing today.
Okay.
So I'm not at the store, but Miss Teresa's there.
All right.
So my little sister's there taking care of the building. And then Sundays from 12 to 5.
All right.
But we are still open. We trying to make sure that we're keeping all the social distancing done, keeping the amount of people in the buildings limited, doing all the right things and following the rules. So, but it's been really good. We've got a pretty decent month, all things considered. So, because everybody's trying to get out, spend some time outdoors, and if nothing else comes out of this, I'm really excited about what I've been seeing with all the dads taking their kids fishing and all the people spending a lot more time outdoors than we've seen in a long time, I think.
How about that, Gene Smith? You hear that? He's saying,
There were two big guys at at Glen Springs the other day. They had big kayaks, not them cheap ones, but the ones like he's talking about. And he told me he stood up in that boat. He said you can fly fish by standing up, and I didn't think you could, but he did. It didn't even wiggle at all.
Oh, okay. You just became one of his salesmen now, so he'll do that. And Dave, I know you like to hear that, say that Dad's taking kids fishing, because I know you've got your grandkids and things along that line, and that has been a way to social distance, so to speak.
Yeah, and kayak, if you're gonna, like David was talking about, when you buy a kayak, if you to get the feel of it and everything, I used to recommend people to go to the TWRA family fishing lakes, because you can fish out of that, because those lakes have the boats for the motors.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So out there, you're not worried about out there paddling around, and next thing you know, you've got a 20-foot tournament boat roaring by you with a 200-300 horse motor on.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
So, so it's and it's kind of you can enjoy yourself without having to worry about the speed demons out there.
Well, I think that too, because he was saying you could go 4 or 5 miles an hour in one of these kayaks. Okay, that's
hey,
good.
Larry,
yeah. What?
I noticed out at Shelby Forest they have a new ramp for kayaks, where you can get in it and roll down the ramp into the water instead of standing in the water to get in it.
Do they really? You know that, David?
I didn't know that. I'm going to go check that one out.
Yeah, you need to check it. It's pretty neat.
Pretty neat. David, thank you, buddy, for taking time to be with us. Be careful down there at Cuba Landing, okay?
And, thank you, Larry. Y'all be good.
All right, we'll talk to you. And again, that's David Best from Primary Tackle. Let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Be right back.